Good afternoon, hoodies. Welcome back to the Hood Table one more again. Please like and share the video and subscribe to the Hood Table if you are not already subscribed. Please and thank you very much. Now, you know that I've been following this R. Kelly trial for quite some time, and I told y'all that every time something comes to light, something new comes up, I will keep you guys informed. And let me put my little picture up here. I got a nice little picture that I want to show you guys. Bam. There we go. There we go. So, like I was saying, I told you guys that every time something new comes to light, like allegations or new evidence or updates on this trial, I will discuss it with you guys. So today I'm actually going to do that and give you all a history or a timeline of allegations against R. Kelly, especially for those of you who still believe that the man can do no wrong in your eyes. Now, first of all, the jury selection for R. Kelly's trial has been selected. The jury consists of 7 men and 5 women who will hear the R&B singer's federal sex trafficking trial. The panel was sworn in on Wednesday after dozens of potential jurors were screened by U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly in federal court in Brooklyn. Now, as far as opening statements and testimony, that will begin on August 18th, and the jurors will remain anonymous and partially sequestered. For those of you who have been following this trial with me, you know that R. Kelly faces racketeering and sexual charges and could possibly face the rest of his life in prison. That is, depending on how long he lives. And of course, he still denies any of those charges. They are forecasting that the trial may last between 6 and 8 weeks. And unfortunately, for some of you, the judge did decide, which I told you guys last week, that there will be no public allowed in the courtroom and no media allowed in person. Neither will be allowed to watch in the courtroom in person due to the pandemic numbers back up on the rise. So, for everybody's safety and precaution measures, nobody besides the necessary people will be allowed to attend the trial in person. This federal trial for R. Kelly is the second federal trial for the star. Remember, he was acquitted in 2008 for child pornography charges, and in this particular case, he is facing a multitude of charges from sex trafficking, forced labor, racketeering, sexual exploitation of children, and kidnapping. Yet again, he continues to deny any of these charges. R. Kelly has been accused of recruiting women and girls to engage in illegal sexual activities. And as of recently, 2 new allegations have surfaced regarding 2 17-year-old boys. Prosecutors are alleging that the singer abused a 17-year-old boy almost 15 years ago. R. Kelly is said to have met the boy at a McDonald's in 2006. The singer then invited the boy to a party to his Chicago home. The singer did invite him, and the guy did show up, but with his parents. He was then told by R. Kelly the next time he visits his home to come alone. And just like similar stories told by the singer's other accusers, R. Kelly invited the boy to his studio under the guise of helping and mentoring him with musical aspirations. Allegedly, the singer asked John Doe, number one, as we'll call that 17-year-old, what he was willing to do to make it in the music world. Kelly made it very clear how he wanted John Doe number one to engage in sexual contact with him. With that being said, Kelly did engage in sexual activities with John Doe number one, which violated Illinois law. Later down the line, John Doe number one introduced Kelly to, among others, a close male friend who was during that time between the age of 16 and 17 years old, and who we shall refer to as John Doe number two. The singer, a few years down the line, did begin a sexual relationship with John Doe number two as well. He actually insisted that both of the boys allowed him to have sex with not only them, but with their girlfriends as well. That turned into R. Kelly filming their sexual encounters with him and filming the boys having sex with other people, including their girlfriends. Kelly even paid John Doe number two sometimes to have sex with him. And allegedly, there are telephone records to corroborate the allegations of these newest accusers. And of course, the singer denies all allegations. Now, what we are going to watch here is just a little clip of R. Kelly appearing in court.
Last week, Mr. Kelly.
Okay, you guys. So now that is where R. Kelly, you can be, well, actually in that video, you can hear people in the background screaming and yelling for R. Kelly. They're like, we love you, we're here for you. A lot of people still to this day believe that he has done absolutely no wrong. And let me throw my little picture back up here for you guys. I just love this visual. Yes, a lot of people are still out there who believe that he has done absolutely no wrong. And on that note, I'm going to give you a little bit of history on all of the allegations against R. Kelly, because for more than 2 decades, he seemed to have been facing allegations of sexual abuse. And it goes all the way back to the 90s, where he was accused of being a predator who sought out teenage girls. Now, we all know that Kelly himself was a victim of child abuse. I've mentioned that many times. It came out by his brother on Lifetime Surviving R. Kelly series that he was abused by an older man in the neighborhood. The man did get locked up for the crime, but allegedly R. Kelly's mother was paid $5,000 by that accuser to not press charges, which his mother did accept. That was alleged by R. Kelly's own brother on the Lifetime series. Now, along with that abuse, in R. Kelly's autobiography, in his own autobiography, he claims to have been raped at 8 years old by a female family member. That female family member is alleged to have been his own older sister. Again, that was also said by R. Kelly's brother as well in the Lifetime series. Now, moving forward, well, actually, yeah, moving forward from that day, from that time back then. Way back in 1994 is when R. Kelly married Aaliyah. He was 27 years old and she was only 15 years old. They had a secret ceremony in Chicago. R. Kelly had somebody forge documents stating that Aaliyah was 18 years old when she was only 15 years old. But then later, the marriage was annulled in February of 1995. Ever since then, the singer has never really spoken about that period of time in his life, only saying things like how the two of them, being him and Aaliyah, were best of friends. Allegedly, it's because her parents were paid off and an NDA was signed. In 1996, Tiffany Hawkins had sued R. Kelly for emotional distress. She claimed personal injuries and emotional distress that she suffered through a 3-year relationship with him. She said that they started to have sex in 91 when she was only 15 and he was 24. The relationship ended about 3 years later when she was 18. Hawkins, who sought $10 million in damages, ended up settling for $250,000 in 1998. In 2001, R. Kelly was sued by an intern. The intern name was Tracy Sampson. She sued him for indecent sexual relationship. Sampson was 17 years old and claims that she was treated as a sexual object and then cast aside. She also claims how he tried to control every aspect of her life, like where she would go, who she would see. And if you guys tune into the Lifetime Surviving R. Kelly series, you might recall how a lot of the accusers, if not all of them, stated how controlling he was. According to those accusers, they couldn't eat, sleep, use the restroom, shower, bathe, leave the house, nothing without his permission. Then in May of 2002, there were two more court cases. That's when he was sued by Patrice Jones. Patrice had claimed that when she was underage, the singer had gotten her pregnant, only to force her to have an abortion. During that time as well, Montina Woods sued R. Kelly, stating he had videotaped them while they were having sex without her knowledge. Those sex tapes were then made available for sale on the streets by bootleggers. The title of that sex tape was R. Kelly Triple X. Both of those cases against Kelly were settled out of court. How much did those women get? We don't know because again, there was an NDA. In 2002, R. Kelly was charged with child pornography. 21 counts of making child pornography, including intercourse, oral sex, urination, and other sexual acts. Those acts were videotaped, and there was a minor on those videotapes. Now, that minor, if y'all can recall, was the singer Sparkle's niece, Rashana Lynn Fair, who was 14 years old at that time. That tape happened to fall in the hands of someone who delivered it to the Chicago Sun-Times, which was later turned over to the FBI. And although the 14-year-old on the tape was identified by such people as her peers, her teachers, and coaches, the family refused to testify that that girl in the video was their child. Along with that, the parents of the 14-year-old girl had also permitted her not to testify against R. Kelly, which is how he escaped those charges. That trial took about 6 years because the singer was that trial took about 6 years um, for the singer to be acquitted on all charges. But in the meantime, and in between time, that's when R. Kelly came out with all those trapped in the closet records. Do y'all remember that? All those trapped in the closet records? He was nominated by NAACP during that time. And also during that time, people were speculating about his sexuality. It was around that time where allegedly people were claiming that he was bisexual and having sex with both young boys and young girls. But after winning the case involving a 14-year-old girl in 2002 and 2004, there were more charges. Another 12 counts of making child pornography, this time in Florida. Police came in, seized his camera equipment, videotapes, and they found images of him having sex with another underage girl. Those charges were soon dropped when R. Kelly's defense team were able to convince the judge that the police didn't have enough sufficient evidence to justify that search and seizure. Now, some of y'all might have forgotten, but around 2017, it was also said that R. Kelly had a sex cult. And remember the records trapped in the closet? Some of the women were claiming that he was keeping them trapped in a sex cult. Again, more controlling accusations or not allowing them to eat, sleep, use the restroom, shower, bathe, leave the house, nothing without his permission. They were trapped. And a little while after that is when we started hearing accusations from parents saying that the singer was keeping their daughters hostage. I'll never forget seeing 21-year-old Jocelyn Savage in that TMZ video. Unlike the other accusers, Savage had denied being kept, held, or trapped against her will or being brainwashed by the singer. But as you can also recall, Savage had refused to say where R. Kelly was keeping her, nor go into details about her relationship with the singer. Moving right along, 2017 to 2018, that's when some of the accusers decided to go to the press, such as Deronda Pace and Kitty Jones. Now, Deronda Pace, she had broken an NDA to speak about her relationship with Kelly when she was underage. Kitty Jones claimed that he starved her, coerced her into having sexual encounters with other women, and physically abused her. That also came out in the Lifetime Surviving R. Kelly series. And again, R. Kelly denied any of those allegations. 2018 was also when the hashtag Mute R. Kelly movement started. That worldwide movement was created to basically financially boycott or mute R&B singer Robert R. Kelly due to his 25-year history of sexual, physical, and emotional abuse allegations. And what did Kelly have to say regarding that movement that made some fans refuse to step in the name of love anymore to any of his tunes? Only God can mute me, is what he's saying. Am I supposed to go to jail or lose my career because of your opinion? Is what he's saying. Moving right along. In 2019, more allegations and new charges, which were brought to light. Basically, those new allegations and new charges brought to light how some people believe that R. Kelly was enabled and entitled by everyone around him, from security guards, bodyguards, road managers. Even one of his tour managers, Demetrius Smith, said it was just what it was. Whatever he wanted, that's what we did. What he wanted was what we were supposed to give him. That Surviving R. Kelly series led to the singer being dropped from his record company and cancellations of upcoming concerts. In February 2019, celebrity lawyer Michael Avenatti received a video showing R. Kelly having sex with a 14-year-old girl, which resulted in him being charged in Chicago with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual assault. And again, he pleads not guilty. Now, I know you guys cannot forget the interview that he did with Gayle Kings. Gayle Kings. Did I put an S on her name? With Gayle King. Yeah, that was for those of y'all who have forgotten. That interview about Gayle King, that was when he blew up, started crying and screaming while Gayle King was just sitting there, real professional, trying to calm him down. Let's check that video out for those of y'all who might have forgotten.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. Quit playing. Quit playing. Robert. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. Robert. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
how stupid would it be for R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. Why? How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you
That's
were holding.
Stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes. It's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle. Robert, stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. Robert. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
Okay. He really made a spectacle of himself back then. I know y'all cannot forget that. But yeah, he had blew up, started crying and screaming while Gayle King sat there, real professional, trying to calm him down. Prosecutors after that filed an additional 11 charges of sexual assault and abuse against a minor between the age of 13 and 16. The charges described and alleges use of force or threats of force with sex and oral sex with a minor. Jerhonda Pace was the accuser relating to those charges. And as y'all might remember, Jerhonda Pace was the young girl who had met him during the singer's 2008 trial. She had skipped school to sit throughout his trial every day without her parents' knowledge. Pace was only 15 years old at that time and was a huge fan of the star. She would be outside of the courthouse picketing and protesting against his charges with other Kelly fans. Pace proceeded to attend each one of his trial dates until he was acquitted. A year after that was when she claims to have lost her virginity to R. Kelly. Pace also claims how R. Kelly had a trainer. This trainer was a woman who would teach the girls how to treat him and how to treat him sexually. Pace also mentioned that on a daytime talk show, how the trainer would teach her everything that she needed to know. And again, Pace was only 16 years old when the singer started having sex with her. Being a huge fan, Pace admitted to being willing to do whatever pleased him, including allowing him to control every aspect of her life. And like some of the other accusers stated, if you didn't follow his rule, there was a price to pay. Pace, like so many others, were not allowed to eat, sleep, use the restroom, shower, bathe, leave the house, nothing without his permission, nor use the phone to call or check in with their family members without permission. In Pace's situation, she had to lie to get away from him. One day, she told R. Kelly that she needed to pick up a pair of shoes from her uncle who lived a few houses away. The shoes and that uncle was what the singer was referring to in that interview with Gayle King that we just heard. R. Kelly did give her permission to get the shoes, but told her to come right back. But she did not. Pace left everything behind her except for her cell phone. She ran away. She called for help. And to that day, she has never looked back. And here we are today with the R. Kelly trial approaching. And you know that the Hood Table will be going live throughout the trial. We will be discussing it with you guys and getting your opinions on everything that's going to be going on pertaining to the trial. And on that note, everybody, please like and share the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the Hood Table if you have not already subscribed. Stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and don't forget to always keep it hood. Bye.